Now, this is the bigger question. Let's talk about what everyone is thinking. How much money can you actually make with Airbnb? I'm gonna be very real with you. No hype, just a simple truth. I'm sorry to say, but it really depends. It depends on the location, the type of place that you have, and how good your listing is. You are not going to make the same amount of money like someone who is located to tourist point, let's say for example. That means tourists are always coming in and out. If you're within the city, you are not going to make the same amount of money as someone who is in the outskirts. And so many factors. So it will really depend, but I'm going to break it down to you, and I'll also show you an exact amount one of my Airbnb makes. Now, this is my earnings from the Airbnb app alone. Remember, they are direct bookings. So in January, it was roughly about over 1.5 US dollars, and Feb was a bit busy over here. We made around 1.8 US dollars, and March, you can see we are also slightly above, around 1.6 US dollars. And you can see April, May, June, July, not yet booked, but I do have a booking for August. So this is just a summary of this. Like you see, different months, different earnings, and this is just only from the Airbnb app. Remember, there are bookings that come directly or through referrals or through brokers. So now I'm gonna give you a simple example. Let's say you have a really small room, and for this room you are charging $20 per night. And if you get booked for 20 nights in a month, you will end up with about $400 a month. This is just a very basic example, but it helps you understand how the money adds up. Now, if your place looks better, is in a good location, has nice furniture, and it has some good reviews, you can charge more per night. So instead of $20, maybe you can charge $40 or even more, depending on how your place is, how the setup is, the location, and the demand. I'm gonna give you a bigger example of one of my one bedrooms, which is basically $40 per night. For me to make a good amount of money, I need at least 20 to 25 nights booked. And let's say it's booked for 25 nights. I am making about $1,000 a month. So what happens here? Don't forget, there are actually costs that you incur. For example, for me, most of my costs are cleaning costs, bills, that is electric and water, rent, and if you're renting also, keep this. And then what is left is what I count as my profit. This is the typical expense. So if I have $1,000, let's say booked for 20 to 25 nights, that is around 3.7 Ugandan shillings. My cleaner gets 150 Ugandan shillings a month, that is about $40. Electricity, I pay 50,000 a month, that is around $13. And my water bill is basically around $5 to $8 a month. That is around 20 to 30,000. It has never exceeded 30,000. And then rent is 1.5 currently, which is about $400 a month. And then I put aside 200,000 Ugandan shillings for anything that may arise. Maybe we have to buy some cleaning supplies, or we need to add something. There is that extra money that you just put aside in case something comes up. Now, when you add up all this, the total expense is about $511. And my profit will be basically my earnings minus the expense. So I am left with around $489. If I convert this in Ugandan shillings, that is about 1.8 million Ugandan shillings. So now, for you to understand how this actually works, you need to do calculations on your expenses, which expenses that you incur most. And for this, these are just basically my fixed expenses. Now, this is not just magic money. You won't become rich overnight. But if you keep improving your space time and again, and you get more bookings over time, your income will grow over time. So what I really encourage hosts to do is, if you get your first guest, make sure that you ask them for feedback. Tell them, hey, if you're to return back to this place, what would you like me to improve? When I started, I used to ask each and every guest. Up to now, I still do. And you'll be shocked what guests will tell you. The least expected things are what the guests will tell you. Oh, I would be glad to come back and I find a reading table. Or maybe you can add maybe a small thing here, a small thing there, a small thing there. Those guests will help you improve your place. And the more amenities you have, the better the service the guests will get. I'm just gonna say, you start small, learn as you go, improve step by step. And that is basically how people turn Airbnb into a real source of income. Even 300 to 500 extra per month can change your life, and this is basically what is going to help your business grow. In the next chapter, I'm going to show you the common mistakes beginner Airbnb hosts make and how you can avoid them.